Well, greetings, everyone. This is old Doc Hatfield, Preacher Man Piper, coming to you once again, telling you a story about my life. This is about my terminal illness. I was living in Topeka, Kansas at the time when I got sick, and I thought that I'd be fine in a few days, but I ended up passing out, and when I woke up, I was in the hospital, and I wondered what I was doing there. Well, the doctors at the hospital said I needed to have some tests run and to find out exactly what was wrong with me. So they started administering those tests one by one. And when the test was all done, 3 doctors came to my room and started explaining to me what was wrong with me. They went on, and finally I said, "Just cut to the chase. Tell me, what is wrong with me?" See, they had no idea of my past and how many times I had gone through similar situations like this. Finally, the head doctor said, "You're right. So let's just be honest with you, because you have a right to know, after all." I was 34 at this time, and because of my age, they felt it might be bad on me to know the truth. Finally, the doctor said, "Sir, you have stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma." He said, "This is an advanced form of cancer of your lymphatic system of your body. Usually you only have from 6 months to as much as 2 years before you will, unfortunately, pass away." He said, "I know this is a lot for you to take in at your age, but you wanted the unvarnished truth, so here it is. So what we're going to do, we're going to leave you alone to digest this. And in the morning, we will let you know of the treatments that we will have at that time to help you fulfill a 2-year limit. Now, we can't guarantee that, but we can help you try to do that." And with that, they left the room, and my wife at that time was overwrought, and about 10 minutes later, she left. Well, as I thought back over my life, I thought of all the times I had been told I only have a few years left to live. I was now living with the time limit of 40 years. The doctors had told my dad I couldn't live past the age of 40. So I knew that time was coming in about 6 years. But God had been faithful to have kept me here way beyond the time I was supposed to live. At 1 year and 3 months old, I was given 6 months to live. After that 6 months, the doctor said it would be any day now. When I was 3 years old, they gave me till I was 7 to live. And at the age of 7, I was given till the age of 15 to live. I was told I'd never be over 5 foot tall, and never weigh over 110 pounds, and never be able to work a day in my life. At the age of 15, I was given 7 more years to possibly live. And at the age of 22, I had dumbfounded the medical community because I was now 5'9", weighed 200 pounds, was bench pressing 400 pounds. The doctors told me and my dad that even so this was true, I would never live past the age of 40. So here I was at 34 and given a life sentence of a maximum of 2 years to live. But you see, the next morning, I awoke, and standing in my room at the foot of my bed was my mother and my dad, whom I had not seen in 5 years, per my mom's request. I was more surprised to see them than I was to hear the doctor's report on me. When I saw them, I said, "What in the world are you doing here?" My dad said, "Your wife called us and told us what the doctor said. We want you to come home and stay with us till your time of passing." I said, "Mom told me to change my name." So I changed it back to my birth name. She said she never wanted to see me again or use your name again. I have honored that, so why would I come back to where I am not wanted? 5 years ago, she destroyed my ministry by destroying my itinerary. Mom spoke up and said that she was here to ask for forgiveness for what she had done, and that she wanted me to come back home. She wanted to try to make up for how she has treated me my whole life. So for the first time in my entire life, she looked at me and said, "Son, please let us take care of you." That was the first time the word son toward me came out of her mouth. I told her, I said, "Well, I forgive you. I forgive you of everything. But I was on my way to help a friend start a church in Newcastle, Oklahoma. While I still have strength to help him, I want to do so." I said, "I will make a deal with you. If I come to feel I can't continue, I'll come back home to you and to Dad." About that time, the doctor came in and explained to me what they were going to do to help me, and I just looked him in the eye and said, "Am I going to have to be mainly in the hospital here, doing all of this for the next 2 years or till I die?" He said, "Well, you'll be able to be home some, but yes, to extend you as far as we can, you'll have to be here." I said, "Well, doctor, I appreciate all you're willing to do for me, but I have an appointment in Oklahoma and I have to be there." He said, "Well, you might not live but 6 months, 8 months at the most, probably." I said, "Well, doctor, I understand what you're saying, but the alternative's heaven. And heaven sounded sweeter to me all the time." Well, I went to Oklahoma and I helped my friend start a church and get it going. The time flew by fast, and I was literally so busy I never thought about my 2-year time limit. So when the 2 years was coming up, I began to have a lot of trouble in my chest. I would be sitting around and all of a sudden I couldn't hardly breathe. I had such pain in my chest and honestly thought I was dying each time this happened. I'd try to get my breath and I couldn't get it, and I'd just suck air as hard as I could, but I couldn't get it. I couldn't get the air, and it just took a while before I was able to breathe normal again. So finally I went to a doctor friend that came to the church, and he said, let's put you in the hospital for a couple of days and see what is going on. So I did. They did all kinds of tests on me, and finally the doctor came and said, I need to talk to you, preacher. He said, because see, the whole church knew about my stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma. The doctor said, first I want to tell you, you no longer have Hodgkin's lymphoma. It's completely gone. There isn't even a trace of it. All this time, I had not been taking any medicine for that. And he went on to say, but what you do have is a hiatal hernia. And it's a condition in which the upper part of your stomach bulges through an opening in your diaphragm, which shouldn't be there. Your diaphragm is a thin muscle that separates your chest from your abdomen. And your diaphragm helps keep the acid in your stomach from coming up into your esophagus. He continued, this is worse than heartburn or lots of chest pains or abdominal pain. This literally stops you from breathing and makes you feel like a pile of bricks that have been dropped on your chest. This mimics a heart attack every time. He said, so how to help you is not what you eat, but the way you eat. Just eat smaller bites, eat slower than normal. I said, well, what can be done with the opening? He said, unfortunately, nothing. Just being careful with your eating habit. Once again, God has been faithful to me, healed me of that stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma. God had once again shown his power and sovereign grace to sustain my life. Well, that was my terminal illness story. And I wanted to show you something. I had a friend. Now I can't tell the name because they don't want me to tell their name. And it's not because they're ashamed of it, but because it's just best for them. But they gave me a pipe. And I want y'all to see it. You would just get a kick out of this. Here it is. I said, I think you got that because it looks kind of like me. And she laughed. She said, well, no, not really. But she said, I just thought that was cute. I didn't know if you had anything like that. And she said, so I wanted to get it for you. And there it is. It smokes pretty good. I was really surprised. You know, how it smoked pretty good. And I've smoked it a few times, not much, but I wanted to show it to y'all because I thought y'all would get a kick out of it, and really now don't send me messages telling me it looks like me, okay? But I wanted to show that little pipe to you, and I don't really know. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you something else. Something else. We're selling our camper. We got a 28 foot pull camper. got a slide out, got all that fancy stuff, and so since we're selling it, it's been sitting there now for about 7 years, and uh, because I wasn't able to get into it, and so since I can't get in it, we've decided that we're going to sell it. Well, my wife had to go empty it out, get all the stuff out of it, and she come in one day and she said, "I found a can of tobacco in the camper." I thought she was talking about a tin, or just a small tin of tobacco. And I thought, well, I wonder what kind of tobacco that is that I had in there all that time. Well, she come in here, and this is what she brought in. This can of Captain Black, and it was almost full. So that had been out there aging for 7 years, and it's relatively in good shape. It's not dried like dry stuff, but I don't know how well I can do this, but I'll try to show you some. If you can see that, and I'll just be honest with you, it tastes a whole lot better than whenever I first got it. Well, I pray that the good Lord will watch over everybody and take care of everybody and supply everyone's needs and take care of all your circumstances. And I want you to know that I'm praying for you. And I want to just put this in there, and then I'll get out of here. If y'all ever have any questions for me, put them down in the comments, and the next time I do a video, I'll answer the questions. I don't care if it's about pipes or if it's about tobacco or if it's about, accessories. I don't care if it's about theology, because I'm a theologian. I don't care what it's about. I'll be glad to answer them for you and try to help you. So remember, you can put any question down you want, and I'll address them. Well, I'm going to get out of here now, and this is about longer than what I like, but I hope that everyone has a good weekend, and I hope everyone has a good week next week. And I'll try to be back with another story a little sooner than what I have been doing. And I will tell you this first part of this week, I had a heart attack, and but I'm doing better now, doing a lot better now, and I've had some other things, and that's kept me from doing videos. But I'll try to get you some more videos made, and I hope y'all are enjoying these. And until I see you again, may God richly bless you. Bye-bye.